What is up, my Cuthouse Cardboard Ninja, coming at you with the Prepare for the Next Step update video. This is the dev vlog where they decided to grab a couple of Russians who look crazy and wearing goofy crap. Wow, that was actually well timed. To basically diddle around on the test server and try and entice you into buying the next Battle Pass. So let's skip all of the BS that they have to talk about because they are not going to say anything of value. Yes, I've already watched this before, and I determined that they aren't really saying anything overly important. They go over the Battle Pass and the things to get, and we'll go over that really quickly. You get a free mech from this Battle Pass. We'll see. You get this. You don't get that other one. Whatever they were showing you, no, you get this. It is trash. It comes with legs that have no abilities. It is just a walker. That is it. Enjoy. That's rank 1 of the Battle Pass. So just so we're clear, the first levels, as always, get you nothing. Unfortunate but true. A picture, a thing that goes up over here, some parts that they didn't go over the statistics of. For example, this Battle Walker side is actually a pretty cool part. I believe it is a 8x2. Is that right? 2, 4, 6. Yeah, it's an 8x2x2. L-shaped. Cool. I'd love to know how many hit points it had. They didn't go over it. They don't show the parameters of that like ever. They just show it off for quite some time. This one is an interesting one because of the fact that, once again, they don't go over the parameters, so I don't know if it's good or not. But the shape is nice, and I'm always a sucker for more structural parts. I love it. Then they show off the first leg, which is dog shit. It has a lot of durability for a movement part. I told you that these things would have to have massive durability. And this, the lightest of legs, has 1300 durability fused with 10%. So you're looking at, what, 12-something hundred durability. Yeah, it's not enough. It's just not enough. You're going to need plenty of these legs. As I expected, you're going to need plenty of these legs for this walker mode, which, by the way, as stated before, is going to be its own separate game mode. You can't take these walker legs into standard game modes. The community was right, or were they wrong about this part? I believe they were wrong about this part. Is this a 3x? No, they were right. I was wrong. They were right about the part. It's a 3x, and these are not armored on either side. But yeah, new armored parts, love it. But everything else, completely valueless. This is week 2. Week 2 of the Battle Pass gets you effectively nothing again. They're showing off the next tier up of legs, which is the higher tier, but it is a light leg. The first one was like a moderate leg, so that's why it had more durability. This thing only has 1777 Dura, which is insanely low for what you need. Just not a lot of Dura. So, oh, and also I believe this one allows you to dash. And then, of course, you've got the other legs, which do have, I'm sorry, these are the ones with the dash. So, as you can see, they were prepping for this, I believe, for quite some time with the events where you could put the sideways boosting parts on your build, or the builds that are provided in many of the game modes where you can boost in any direction. So these are boost in any direction legs. Whenever the cooldown is up, you can boost in any direction, left, right, sideways. You get the idea. It's just a little boost of speed. Pretty cool. The only downside is they only have 1100 durability, and someone will shoot you in the leg, and then you will be on the ground in a very hilarious fashion. That is the Tengu robotic leg. Moving forward, and I think you get that on week 3. Hopefully, yeah, they give you 2 of them. Hopefully, they give you 4 of them because you're going to have to shove a whole lot of those on a build if you want them to not suck. I believe this is them showing off. What are they showing off here? Oh no. Oh no. What are they showing off there? It's not the Tengu. Oh, right. I think I know what they're showing off. Here's what's sad. I went through this already. I just don't want to turn on their volume. Let's see here. Next up is the heavy leg. This thing has jump jets. I don't know why they're giving heavy legs jump jets, but they are. You don't jump very high, but it should clear any terrain obstacle in Crossout, now that I think about it, just about any. So better than ML200s, but again, not really going to compete with ML200s, because why would you compete with ML200s? Again, separate game mode, right? I'm trying to see if they actually ever go over the statistics of it, which I think they actually skip because they don't find that to be relevant. Next up is the new train plow. Everybody was thinking that this plow blade was going to go on Leviathans as another roof part. You get 2 of them, I think, over the course of the Battle Pass. And if you place them side by side or whatever, you can get a fair amount of durability out of it. They do show the statistics of this. I think it has sub 200. I think it's like the high 100s. Yeah, 182 dura for 363 mass. Honestly, it's actually a lackluster part, but I could see some people using it for niche art builds. But honestly, there are better bumpers that already exist, and they're called the snowplow. This new part is you can only have one of these mounted on your build, anything with nodes. They replaced it from one defensive modules, so they used to say you can only have one defensive module on your build. They changed that to only one module with power nodes can be mounted on a vehicle. And so this is the new power module part that's going to increase weapons by 20% damage, cabins by 7% maximum speed, and if you attach an engine, it will give plus 20% to the power of the armored car, which I don't know if that means that you get 20% of the total power. I don't know if that means that you get 20% of whatever is being provided by the engine, but that is what it does. Honestly, it's a cool module. I don't dislike it, but the only issue that I foresee is that you're not going to replace the Omamori with it. You're just not. Getting your guns stripped 50% faster, I'm sorry, technically 100% faster, basically at twice the speed, is not worth an increase of 20% damage. And the other nodes are just meh. And also it explodes, unlike the Omamori, which does the opposite and protects you. More structural parts. Weak, I think we are on week, 2, 4, 6? Week 6, you finally get the first weapon. It is a legendary rocket launcher, and many people were asking, hey, wait a minute, it's called the Swarm. Many people were wondering about the statistics of the Swarm. So on stream, many people brought up some very funny stuff, which is every single time these guys, these Chuckalos, do a devlog, they do the same thing, which is they have access to damage balls, they have access to other builds, they have access to a myriad of things that could show us the actual potential of this weapon. You know, they could shoot something, right? Like they're going to shoot this barely here. And they'd be like, look at that. Look at it spray missiles. 52134. Neat. How cool is that? They could shoot this big old walker and get a ton of damage in on it, you know, just to show off how much damage it does. Not much, because they missed. But they could do all that. But instead of shooting a damage ball to show the maximum potential or anything like that, they don't do that. They just lightly flail near the ground. Instead, they just shoot the ground. And I remember them doing that in every other devlog, but I'm like, do they do that in all the time, every single time? They're showing off right now that the missiles do not turn, they don't rotate, they're not rotating turrets, but here's the kicker, they can do that. They can aim behind you and spiral into the ground. And by the way, they're doing that thing again that we were just talking about, where the devs shoot the ground and say, this is a must-buy weapon, you gotta get this Battle Pass is gonna be amazing, look at this, look at how well I can damage the ground, and it doesn't tell you shit about the weapon. So, from what we can tell of how the weapon functions, it is a reloading weapon that is, surprisingly, radar-based. Yeah, I'm going to fast forward through this because it took them forever to attach a radar. It can only shoot as far away from you as you have radar detection. So you're basically targeting a spot in the world based on your radar. And it sends a swarm of missiles out there, and, well, as you can see, there's plenty of ground all over the place for them to shoot. And one of the things that I think I just need to say right now, I don't need competition for shooting the ground. I'm the one who shoots the ground, Crossout devs. I do it live and in games. You only do it on the test range. But yeah, so there's no way to know. I believe that if you want my 2 cents on this weapon, it is very disappointing. I'm just going to outright say this right now. This is one of the least meta weapons ever released in the game. I don't believe it is good, based on the fact that they fired at a giant walker, Leviathan, and did absolutely no damage. They didn't remove many parts, which means that the damage itself is very low. The missiles don't track, they don't home, they take a while to travel to their target, and they only go where they were targeted. So, I don't know what to tell you. Like, they don't move fast enough for long range, because, obviously, and they don't do enough damage for close range. They look as though they are, like, if you've ever played a game called MechWarrior Online, I don't want to bring it up again, but this is their version of the LRM system, or the long range missile system. LRMs are by default in that game meant to splash damage everywhere across a build, and they do that here and that is not a good gun. LRMs, however, are a homing weapon in that game, whereas in this game, they are not homing. You just target a spot on the ground and pray that someone steps in there at the same time as a fusillade of missiles that don't do very much damage show up. So at this point, I gotta say, it's disappointing just to see it. Just see it in action, to see it shoot, to see the damage numbers that were provided, as meager as they were. The spread is insane. It's not good. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't look like it feels good to use. Using this on the move. Remember, this is stationary versus stationary. They had to stop moving to do this. Did you see that? They had to stop moving to actually get this, to actually shoot at that guy and have any shot of hitting him. Also, it follows the same Mandrake rules and the same Heather rules. The only difference is you don't see the line. So that makes it even harder. And the damage isn't enough to actually damage their own build. It's just bad. So I don't know why this is, but Crossout has an issue with rockets, and rockets are very bad in Crossout. Just in general. The number one weapon in the game, or the number two weapon in the game, is the Helicon, with the exception of the Helicon. The Helicon is the exception to the rule. Helicons are great. They're phenomenal. Literally S tier plus weapon. Great gun. Everything that's not the Helicon is dog shit, more or less. Crickets do great damage, but can be easily slapped off your build because they have no durability. Freaking this weapon isn't that good. I have a cat that's moving around, knocking over my stuff. Thank you, kitty. Rockets are disappointing in Crossout. The Hurricane, even though it's a homing missile launcher, the rockets are just disappointing. And this is just a continuation of that. This feels like a disappointment, honestly. I don't see this feels, the Lucifer, shit. I forgot to bring that up. The Lucifer, literally the most recent rocket weapon that was released in the game. I don't mean to be that guy. It's dog shit. Like, if you have two fused Lucifers, I'm not against that. Because if you're brand new to the game, you want a fun gun. That sounds like fun, it seems like fun, but its damage is just not there. The damage just isn't there. And this feels a lot like that, where the damage just isn't there. The mechanics just aren't there. Moving on, the next thing is the Slaughterer grenade launcher. I don't know what it is with the rockets, they just suck. Slaughterer grenade launcher, people are comparing this to the Retcher. It's not. This is actually more closely compared to every other negative press weapon in the game. You charge it up and you fire. It does something different based on whether or not you charge it or not. So in the first mode, which by the way, they do not demonstrate well because they never fucking do. Sorry for the cursing, but it's just frustrating watching these guys. Watch this. This thing doesn't even work. What? The legs don't work. Oh no. Oh no. And we're the devs. We couldn't make a build. Anyway, whatever. Doesn't matter. So they go to a different one, but they don't demonstrate it very well. And we'll just watch them demonstrate it real fast. Basically, the standard left mouse button mode is it fires a shot, it goes out, and then it explodes into 4 different grenades. You didn't get to see any of that because it looks like a standard fucking shot, doesn't it? Looks just like a regular, just a regular fucking cannon shot, doesn't it? Because that's it. That's all. That's just how they decided to display it. And now, right now, they're talking about the perk, saying, "Look at this. This thing has 12% damage because the more parts that are hit in the explosion increase the next shot's damage." And then they charge it up, if I recall correctly, and they're trying to show off the charging mechanic, where if you're looking at the side, you can actually see the charged shot go in there. See how a little drill shows up? That's what they wanted to show off. They wanted to show off that tiny ass fucking drill. And so they shot the ground without shooting anything with the drill because they are the devs. It's good weapon. It's great weapon. As you see, damages ground. It's amazing. No, we didn't learn shit about this. So eventually they'll shoot something of value, I think. But not very well. Because they don't fire at the Leviathan. Do you? They fire? Oh, they did. There you go. 534. 534 damage for one shot is... You have to remember this broke into 4 different grenades, and because they have 24% and a 20%, you know that each grenade hit an additional, in this instance, it hit 5 parts, and in this instance, it hit 6 parts. So that's 2 weapons that hit 11 different parts to do 500 damage. And then they're going to overcharge shot and do less because they aren't using blast. That's just 613 bullet. So from what we can understand, we can actually reverse engineer the damage of this weapon. I'm not going to, but we could, because you'd take that 614 damage divided by 2 unevenly, because remember, one of them was at plus 24%, one was at plus 20%, but 614 divided by 2, you're looking at 307 damage per shot charged. Remove 20% of that, you're looking at 200 something, and that's base. which makes sense, but still, it's a legendary, and it does that. So as you can see, it's for every 2 enemy parts hit by the explosion. So it actually didn't hit 11 parts total, it hit 22 parts total, but it doesn't matter because we know the numbers. So this is another example of a lowish durability gun. 525 is not a lot of durability. When it's in its secondary fire mode, it doesn't actually have blast. I believe it is pure bullet because that's what it says. It says the projectile will not split on impact and will have hit damage, meaning when you charge it, it's a slug for some reason. And it says the ability to penetrate enemy parts as well as increased accuracy and effective range. So I don't know how that's possible with effective range. Increased accuracy, I didn't see it because again, they didn't show it off, and they never do. They just move on to the next part, which is a bumper. Again, Crossout devs, you're killing me. You have access to the damage ball. Just shoot the damage ball once, my dude. Next up is the cabin, which I believe is called and they need to change the name of this one, by the way, the BWC Warrior. BWC, huh? Okay. All right. Instead of the BBC Warrior, it is the BWC Warrior. And the BWC Warrior is a medium cabin, 72 kilometers an hour, decent max speeds. It has a very similar shape to the Hugin. But when I looked at this before, they didn't give the numbers. And I figured that their perk would be kind of cool. But here's the thing. The bonus is not good. Sorry, I had to take a little sippy sip. The way this works is actually bad. So it has 2 modes, as you can see over here. Mode 1 increases the maximum speed of the cabin and increases power. Bonus damage for Mode 2 accumulates while you're moving. But you got to move a long distance to get that bonus. And then, as you deal damage in Mode 2, you get bonus speed. But you have to deal a lot of damage to get that bonus. So as you can see down here, right at this button number 1, you can see that small amount of red. Watch how it builds. Remember, it's 400 meters you have to travel to charge this thing all the way up. They don't explain whether or not this is a full bonus and the duration is based on this, or if you have to get the bonus based on distance. But either way, that is shit. And it looks as though you have 9 seconds of this bonus from what he just walked. And then that's going to be 2, 1, 0. The bonus is gone. And that was supposed to be for 10% damage. That is awful. So now he's got an 8 bonus on the other side. And now he's got that movement speed for a couple of seconds. But you can't even tell. Like, honestly. Look at this. Watch this. Look in the bottom right-hand corner. He's moving 71, 72. And this is probably due to the fact that legs have a top speed limit, and they didn't think about this, but he's moving 71, 72 before he's got the bonus. And now he's running away with the bonus. As you can see, he's got 1.5 seconds of it moving 71, 72. So, again, devs didn't think about what they were doing when they were making this cabin and or displaying what the cabin could do. Because there's no way to know the numbers. They did it again. These sons of bitches, they can't keep getting away with this. There's no way to know if the damage bonus that you get is 10% flat or you have to build up to it. To be honest, either way, let's be completely clear. It does not matter whether or not you have to spend your time walking 40 minutes to get up to a 10% bonus that lasts for a few seconds that then you lose the charge of, or you have to charge up to the 10% bonus for a few seconds that you lose the charge of. Either way, that is dog shit. Let's be abso-freaking-lutely clear about that. No, it does not matter how you decide to slice into that turd pie, you are still eating shit. That is terribly low numbers. You've got to walk 400 meters to get, 30 seconds of fucking 10% bonus damage? Do they not know the cockpit exists? You know that you can immediately get 40% damage bonus immediately, right? The icebox, as long as you're using the appropriate weapon type, you get permanent 20% damage bonus. There are plenty of these. The aggressor drives straight, 21% damage bonus. The Janabi drives sideways, 20% damage bonus. Immediate. This gives you a 10% damage bonus for a diminishingly small period of time after traveling an exceedingly long distance. DOA. That is a dead on arrival cabin. Just bad. Just bad. They finally show off the actual values over here of the rocket launcher, but you got to understand, 364. It's worthless. That's no durability. This is going to get slapped off your build as easily as any rocket. So I'm not feeling it. More structural parts, some paint, and I believe there's a little flexi module, and you get your second, at level 73, you get your second plow, and you get this, you get Diva. Look at that. Nerf this. I know that she doesn't look exactly like Diva. Shut up. But you get Diva. And then you get the flexi arms. I don't recall looking at the flexi arms for very long, but flexi mech arms are going to be cool. Look at that. Oh, isn't that going to be sweet? It's going to be so sick. When you purchase these off of the freaking market, you're not going to get 2 of them, I don't think. But that is fun. That is cool that you get some flexi mech arms. Other than that, I think that actually sums up the entirety of the pass. There we go. 1550 for the heavy legs and durability. Though they're not fused for bonus durability, they're fused for reduction in mass, which they need to be because these things are heavy as fuck. But they do come with acceleration efficiency, so that's good. That is what you need on those. Yeah, I believe that's the pass, but they do go over things that you can get during the crafting. You can get another slaughterer, which... you can get another swarm, which you can get a BWC, a scatty, a whaler. Jesus fucking Christ. It's like, I'll go over this in a summary in the end. You've got your dino legs, your Tengu legs. Looks like there's going to be fused spikes and quasars. But I think the thing that matters the most, and this is going to be silly, is these. Bigfoot and Bigfoot STs. I'm not lying. I'm not even joking. So for those of us who had Leviathans beforehand, you guys know that you're supposed to be using Bigfoots and Bigfoot STs. They nerfed the wheels because they hate us, and so because they nerfed wheels, you have to basically use exclusively Bigfoots. I mean, I don't know if it affected more than just me, but this negated my Leviathan hands down. Couldn't make one because I didn't have enough Bigfoots. But now Bigfoots are back on the menu, boys, and Arguses again for Leviathan game modes. Those can be very useful because they distract enemy Leviathans. Other than that, garbage. All right. Just wait for me to summarize this a little bit later. They sit around, they talk, they jerk it out, they try and play the game to show off the game. Also has minimum range. Oh, Jesus. It is truly outrageous, Jen. It is truly outrageous. Has minimum range in addition to being poor. And of course, they're not able to kill very many bots. Skip. Skippity-doo-dah. Skip. And of course, they show that you can add helicopter parts to legs because who cares? All right. That's it. And that's the Battle Pass. That's the new upcoming Battle Pass main BP. So here are my thoughts. And I have never, ever been negative about a Battle Pass before. This is the absolute first one that I genuinely think is worth skipping. I said it. Fight me. You're going to have to fight me on this one. This is like one of the most skippable battle passes I have ever seen. Every part of this battle pass is screaming skip me. It just screams it. It is screaming it from the rooftops. It's like, I double dog dare you to skip me. And I might. I'm thinking it. I'm actually devastatingly seriously thinking this is not worth my time. This just isn't. This cabin I will never use. I will fucking never use this cabin. I want to. I want it to be cool because I like the Omnibox, but this is dog shit. This cabin's perk sucks. This is the BWC Warrior. Terrible. This gun, bad. Genuinely bad. I can see it. I can see the present. I can see the Lucifer. You see the Lucifer. Ain't no one using the Lucifer. It is bad. It is just bad. And this is worse. This is genuinely worse than the Lucifer in every way possible. And they're selling it. The module that increases damage is cool, but again, it's never under any circumstances going to remove or compete with the Omamori. I mean, okay, let's be absolutely real. If they're coming up with another relic, you and I both know that it's going to cost that module to create. You know it, right? You know it. I know it. We know it. We know. It's the reason why the fucking Omamori is required to craft not the Heather, is required to craft the Helicon, right? So we know that. So you're going to have to craft a few, but if you want whatever the new relic is, and no, I don't know what the new relic is, and no, haven't said anything about another new relic, but in reality, you and I both know that's going to take that part to craft. So get them now during this Battle Pass, because I think you can craft them for free. I don't think you actually need to purchase the Battle Pass to craft them. So this is just the most skippable Battle Pass I have ever seen. Every single thing in this Battle Pass infuriates me based on how it plays, based on how poor it is, based on it's releasing another niche game mode. Again, I'm not against walkers. I love mechs, but it's another niche ass game mode they're releasing, and they're releasing movement parts that can only be used in that game mode. And during this time, they're disabling helicopter game mode, which was another battle pass that they fucking sold us. So we can't use those parts while these parts are in play. I don't know what to tell you guys. This is one of the first battle passes ever that is not worth it. It just isn't. It literally steamrolls directly into this is not worth spending your time on battle pass. I don't mean to be that guy. I don't want to be negative. I don't know how many other streamers are saying this, and again, this is probably the reason why I don't have a fucking test account and never fucking will. But no, honestly, this is the first must-skip battle pass I think I've ever seen. This gun looks weak. It looks weak. It feels bad. It's competing with tons of other weapons in the exact same space that are already available, that are free. That are free insofar as that you already have them, right? This competes with mammoths. This competes with narwhals. It's just a cannon. Oh, it's a grenade launcher that splits its grenades, and when it hits, and then when you hold it down, mouse button, it's a bullet. Who gives a fuck? You know what you could just do? You could just bring a mastodon, or you could just bring a mammoth. Mammoths are cheap and were available in great number in previous battle passes. Many people who have mammoths right now have fused for reload speed mass mammoths, and those are just better than this. It's disappointing. I don't know how better to put it. It's disappointing. They're doubling down on rockets, and rockets suck. They for some reason they make rockets suck. They have the ability. This dude wearing this fucking hat and this guy wearing this mink, they have the choice to say, we don't want rockets to suck, do we? And then using their fingers to type into a computer, don't make rockets suck. You don't have to know what the words, you type the code in to make them not suck, but they don't. They make rockets suck. They make rockets have no durability. They make them have awkward perks. They make the rockets have awkward firing angles. They make rockets have no durability. They choose this. They chose this. These numbers were chosen by these people. They made the decision to make it bad. They're just like, we want this and it's bad. And that's what they did again. Rockets, grenade launchers, and a terrible cabin. A genuine ass cabin. It's disappointing. This is, I honestly, I don't, again, I'll just say it. I don't recommend this battle pass. First one ever, but they did it. Remember how I often will say that every battle pass, every game studio is trying to release an MVP product, MVP standing for minimum viable product, and they try to ride that line of minimum viability where it is just viable enough. They're giving you just enough for the money, just exactly amount where you're like, I guess I'll buy it. That's what they're aiming for. They're not aiming for the enthusiastic, yeah, I can't wait for this new product. Yes, that's not their goal. Fuck that. That's never been their goal. They don't want that. They don't want that result because that means they're giving you too much value. They're giving just enough value that it falls into the category of, I guess I don't think I'd be happier with the $10. I guess I'll do it. That's what they're aiming for. And they missed the mark just enough for me to say, no, this isn't worth it. This is by far and away the worst battle pass that has been on display. And they know it. They made it this way. They think that they're releasing this, and it is a disappointing battle pass. Sorry. This is the reason why I will never get a fucking test account. Because I'm not gonna lie, this is the most disappointing crap I have ever seen. It is just disappointing. So there you go. So what do you guys think about the new upcoming battle pass? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think the new Walker leg mode is gonna be the new hotness? Do you think it'd be more fun than regular Crossout? Maybe. But yeah, how do you guys feel about the new centipede legs? Because you know you're gonna need 2 of them ain't gonna cut it. You know that, and I know that. We know this. You're going to be walking around with a gajillion legs, and you're going to look freaking ridiculous. And you know it's the only way to work, because once you lose one leg, you're dead. You know that. It's the same problem that every leg Walker build has ever had. Once you lose a leg, you tip over. So I leave it to you guys to roast this BP in the comments below. Let me hear your best roasts. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to leave it to you guys. You guys think you're more witty than I am? Roast this battle pass in such a way that makes me laugh. And I don't know, who knows, maybe I'll update my tier list. How about that? If you guys can get one roast that has, I don't know, 100. No, I've done this before. I've said 100 and then I got screwed. We'll go with 1,000. 1,000 thumbs up. Remember, I'm a small channel, so 1,000 thumbs up is never going to happen. So if you get one roast that is so good against this battle pass that gets 1,000 thumbs up, I will update my weapons tier list and even include the weapons in this tier list. How about that? The weapons in this battle pass. How about that? There you go. Alrighty, guys. I've taken too much of your time. It's been 30 minutes. It's been 30 minutes exactly. So I'm going to let you go. Thank you very much for joining me on the new Next Step Battle Pass that's coming out. So, nerf this. Peace.